eagle-eyed knife fans who watched my coat video last week, and you're like, skipped it. Well, the ones who watched may have noticed in one of the shots a knife from a highly anticipated upcoming review. And collectively they scream, "Finally, the HX Outdoors ZD005 review!" The $100-ish gentleman's folder from the same company that brought you the tasteful gentleman's fixed blade survival knife. Remember this one? Okay, maybe eagerly anticipated is a slight exaggeration. Okay, maybe complete exaggeration. Sorry, man, my lawyer wrote this. So at any rate, let's look at the dimensions of this lightweight knife for pockets, or a pocket knife, like the overall length and weight. Blade length and cutting edge. Handle size. Grip area. Spine thickness. Handle thickness. And of course the tallness closed and the flipper protrusion should you choose to leave it attached. Remember, if it's not attached you may lose it. Or so I've been told. Okay, so let's look at the Tanto style blade first, which is satin finish and made from VG-10 steel. Wah wah. You're like, VG-10 on a $100 knife, where's my pitchfork? Obviously made out of S30V, right? Which brings up an important point. Does Cold Steel currently make a tactical pitchfork? And should they? Discuss. Now the top of the blade is rounded, sort of like a Sebenza, so sorry ferro rod starter bros. The blade is sharp out of the box and has held up well to several weeks worth of line cutting, food prep, stick feathering, and whatever. It's still pretty razor sharp. And blade centering is pretty good. The blade is deployed by a flipper on a ball bearing system and locked up with a frame lock. You get smooth, consistent flips, should you so choose to flip it. It borrows a patented design from the Lion Steel TRE. Uh-oh. So let's just assume HX Outdoors licensed it, right? Because that would be the right thing to do. This system, it allows you to remove the flipper and the deployment block up top. It comes with the case, but without the tools. I used a T7 Torx bit to remove both. I guess removing both helps it in those countries that think it's a-okay for kitchen knives to be legal, but not tiny folding pocket knives. Which makes a lot of sense. If you don't want to go the two-handed route, just leave both on like I did. The frame lock is nice and sturdy and covers a little less than half the tang. When you close it, there's a slight little bit of a click sound. There's like a little chick, chick, chick. It's a tad sloppy sounding, but it's there. It hurts nothing functionally on the knife though. The D10 on the other hand is pretty strong on the knife and you can't flick it downward to open it. The frame lock also has a hardened insert where the blade meets the tang that you can remove should you so choose. Okay, so the blade is made from a steel people love to complain about in a $100 knife. Yeah, I see you dudes on the We Knives Instagram channel. It can be had in two handle styles, either the full titanium handled with the titanium backspacer or the half carbon fiber, half titanium version, which I am reviewing here. Note the titanium version is heavier, but the carbon fiber like I'm reviewing here is only just a little bit heavier than the 941. The titanium has a nice subtle surface texture milling on mine. No sharp edges anywhere on the handle. And on the other side, that carbon fiber. If you take a look at this in my Benchmade 941, it looks to me like the HX Outdoors uses legit full carbon fiber, not wrapped G10. The carbon fiber on the HX Outdoors doesn't quite have that nice smooth groove that the 941 has, but it's still pretty decent. Of course, the 941 also looks a little bit nicer too. The handle on this knife fits my hand well and it ain't too small, but it's just big enough. Guys with big hands may not love it, even though it works well for me. Pocket clip is titanium and not deep carry. Tip up, blade backward in my right pocket, which is of course the most tactical for a righty for deployment on this style knife. Alright, so I said tactical. Let's line it up with some of my more expensive knives. The 941 first. We all know I love this knife. It's right under 2.5 ounces, full carbon fiber, high-end steel, about $250. I of course like the deployment and the larger blade on the 941 a little bit better, although the handle grips on both are similar sizes. Honestly though, from a build quality and fit and finish, both of these knives are on par. A non-knife person would not be able to tell the more expensive of the two. But again, you do get the nicer steel with the Benchmade. Alright, how about the Sebenza 21, a $455 knife? Showing you this one mainly because of the construction, which is of course half carbon, half titanium. The HX Outdoors is a smaller knife, but about the same build quality. Now the Chris Reeve people are going to grab their pitchforks, which by the way, they spent about $3,000 for. And what you're buying in the Chris Reeve pitchfork is the tactile feeling of perfection, and you're doing that because you find the joy in holding and using the finest possible pitchfork in your angry mob. The Sebenza has a bit sturdier of a frame lock though. But yeah, and it's got nicer steel. Now let's look at the Steel Will Cutjack, which I really haven't carried much since I reviewed it. Not that there's anything wrong with the knife. It's about $140, uses a higher end steel. I think it's Bowler M390. It flips slightly faster than the HX Outdoors, probably my smoothest flipper, and is made in Italy. So not the China word. It has a smaller handle and honestly I think the knife is a little ugly. And it's a little heavier than the HX Outdoors. I prefer the HX Outdoors personally. Okay, let's look at the HEADesigns Poison. About the same blade size, handle size. Both are Tantos. This one has a solid titanium made handle. I mean, it's two halves. It's not a solid piece of titanium, but all titanium and S35VN. Makes it heavier. I really like the Poison, but I'd be lying if I said it was a better made knife. This is about a $270 knife, and word has it WeKnives makes it for HEADesigns in China. That's unverified, but a lot of people say it. And remember, just because something's not true, if you say it enough times, it often becomes true. You're paying for the blade steel and cooler, more original design, if it's your sort of design. Also a slightly faster deployment, although the frame lock on this one wears on my thumbs. Okay, one more Chinese knife, the Y-Start LK5010. This one uses a steel that people think is punier too, like VG-10, except this one's 440C. It has a nice titanium handle though. Fit and finish and build quality is similar between this and the HX Outdoors. I can't say which one I like better. I don't really carry this knife either. Out of all these knives though, I did in the comparison, I used all of them because they're all lightweightish, like under 4 ounces. High-end construction, high-end materials. Well, I mean, steel aside. Now my favorites of the two are the Poison and the 941, mainly because of the design or ergonomics. I am not a steel snob. I would hope you guys know that by now, although a lot of guys are. I look more at deployment, how it feels in my hand, build quality, how it looks. The HX Outdoors is a fine knife, and maybe if the blade was over 3 inches and the handle larger, it would see a little more pocket time. If you live in a country where knife laws are the worst, and you aren't, and need under 3 inches, and the convertibility of a two-handed opening, it's a nice knife, especially since all the other knives here cost significantly more overseas than in the States, other than of course the Y-Star, which is like a $50 knife. That's the cheapest one here. GearBest provided this knife for review. If you like this review, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks for watching.